want to move on to another issue and ask both of you about this. You know, we talk about George Orwell sometimes on these programs. We talk about thought crime. And now it seems that thought crime is an actual reality in Britain, where a woman was arrested in Birmingham for standing still and saying a prayer to herself. They arrested her on the grounds of a council order that no one within 150 meters of an abortion clinic could be seen to be giving outward approval or disapproval towards the practice. Otherwise, it's a criminal offense. Now, Prue, I'm going to start with you. Am I missing something, or is silent prayer now dangerous to life? What is happening in Britain?
Well, Britain's going to the dogs, as we know, and now we have thought police, people who can see into our minds and understand what we're thinking, which may be up yours, mate, but that's another story. But I just think it's really appalling that we're getting to this stage in our lives, and not just in London, it's happening everywhere, that politicians are so authoritarian. They've put in laws that make them have more power. We've seen their power grab through the COVID period, and they love it. And this is the thin edge of the wedge. And I just feel very sorry for this woman, but I feel sorry for the rest of us who are sane, who are being dominated by this insanity, this wokeness.
Yeah, absolutely right. Now, let's move on here. Daisy, what do you think actually of that? I'd love to hear your opinion as well.
Well, I think it's completely terrifying. I mean, I don't support the idea of buffer zones at all around abortion clinics. I think so long as people aren't being, violent or harassing, they should be allowed to make their voices known, either for or against. It's a contentious issue, and I'm sorry, people are going to have an opinion about it, and they have a right to protest. So this is, she's literally been arrested for praying silently, and it took a copper coming up to her and saying, "Do you happen to be praying?" And she said, "Well, I might be." And he said, "Well, guess what, mate? You're under arrest." I mean, that is so completely terrifying, James. And the irony of it is that the people who will likely be cheering this on, the mad left pro-abortion, group, they are the same ones who would scream to the rooftops at the new laws that the UK has introduced to combat radical climate protesters. I mean, it's this massive double standard there, but this is completely terrifying, totally outrageous. I'm so sorry for this poor woman.
A brilliant point, Daisy, about the climate protesters, but let's stay in Britain for a second and talk about a bit of royal news, and Meghan Markle herself exposing herself as a liar once again after a clip emerged of her performing a curtsy on the show Suits. Now, that's despite her telling us that she didn't know how to do this in the doco. We don't have much time, so I want to stick, we won't show the clips, but Prue, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, she's an actress, James, so, she was performing for the Netflix cameras. Harry didn't like it. We all know she's a liar, so I don't think she's got any credibility whatsoever.